Guys, Human Ninja here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can improve with CFOP. So I'm not that good of a CFOP user myself, but yeah, I'm average around sub 20, so yeah, I'm not bad. So the first thing you want to do is, like, if you don't know full OLL and PLL, I would recommend learning that. So the first tip is actually just try to minimize or avoid regrips. So like when you're doing a T-perm, like that, you see that was a regrip. Like when you do these first moves, when you do that, don't do that. Instead, use some like advanced finger tricks and do maybe something like this. So, and also try to avoid rotations, especially during F2L, like this. So we see in the pair that needs to go here is in the back. So like, wait, let me give me a better example. So here, this pair needs to go here. And try not to rotate, insert it with lefty. Try just doing F moves. Because rotating is actually pretty bad. I've seen some people that like with this case, instead of doing U J-perm, they rotate and then do a J-perm. So that is really bad. So don't try to avoid that. Yeah. So that's like the first two tips. Next up, when you're like, let me just scramble the cube real quick. When you're in the beginning of inspection, try to one look the cross. So let me just close my eyes. Oh, I already forgot. Wait, let me just, like, you want to memorize it. So yeah, it's kind of like this. Like this. So you want to one look your cross. You might, this is also not that good for X cross, but yeah. And also another tip for when doing cross is basically like, let me just give you a little example. So you see here, this edge is opposite of the center color, so we're just gonna move everything in opposites. This opposite, this opposite, this opposite, and this is opposite. Now you have an opposite cross, but if you do a D2 like this, you have a normal cross. So if a normal cross doesn't seem that good to you, maybe use like a reverse cross. That's what I call it. So yeah. Next up, like, I just did some rotations to look. Try to just look ahead way more. So some people do this. So like, they just rotate a lot, insert the pair, and then they spend a couple of seconds looking to then do a cheeky keyhole. No, that's not true. But yeah, they spend a couple of seconds looking. And what you should do is, like, during inspection, I'm just gonna do it a bit slow-mo, because that's how you would practice it. So like this, you make the cross, and like, you wanna like see your first pair, and while you're doing your first pair, I see this one, so I can really easily just get into this one, and then I already see that one, so I can really easily get into that one, and then last this one. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And if you don't know, in the beginning I said learn full OLL and PLL. If you don't know what that means, OLL is basically just when you're done with F2L, you're gonna complete the whole like yellow face. So the algorithm of this, it's just really easy. So it's an M and then a back soon, I think. Yeah. And PLL is just like the last. So yeah, that's it. I think there are some more tips, but those were just like the really good tips. Next up, like, I'm gonna give you a quick example solve, and after that I'm gonna do the next tip. So here's an example solve. Also, I'm just gonna include a tip with this. If you don't see like that white cross is that good, you can do another cross. Like, I'm a multicolor neutral, so I do white or yellow. In this case, white seems better, so I can just do this. And then I could do it with an S move to avoid rotations. So yeah. Next up, I see this edge, and we can easily pair them up, insert them, or with F, but I like doing like rotation L. So yeah. Next up, I see this pair, so this is easy with an RU R prime U2, double sexy. It takes pretty long, but it's pretty spammable. Next up, I see this, so I can just put it in the back, do a sledge, a Y rotation, and insert it. Next up, this pair, it's really easy. Next up, OLL, and then DLL. Pretty easy. So the next tip I want to give you guys is basically just like try to avoid AOF. So if you do a like an R perm, if you do this exact R perm, you're gonna end with AOF. So what you could do is do it from here where the corner matches the face you're on. Then do this R perm, and you have no AOF. So try to avoid AOF at all times. But like when you have like I mostly do this. I don't avoid this with Y perms. So say Y perm is like this. So I know. I look at these two colors and I know it needs to go here, but I don't rotate for that. Just do this Y perm, and then I have AOF. So try to avoid this, but yeah, it's not always that easy. Next tip. Buy a good cube. Like the cube I'm using right now is a Moyu Artistry MP5. I think it's a really good cube, but it's certainly not the best, but it's really good. So don't get these cheap Rubik's brands. Otherwise, if I get if I have a Rubik's brand, I think I'd average like 1 minute. So yeah, I really depend on my cube. So yeah, I need a good cube to cube good. That's pretty obvious. So yeah, those were the tips to get faster with C-Fops. So yeah, that was the video, guys. So I'm Cube Ninja, and I'm out.